Now, here are Kelly Ripa and Anderson Cooper.
Good morning. Wow. Good morning.
Hey, it's Friday, September 10th, 2010. Filling in for Regis today. You know him, you love him, Anderson Cooper.
You look great.
I do?
Yes.
Thank you. It's all padded bras.
No.
Padded everything.
You're like squeezed into that dress.
I am so squeezed in. You have no idea. It took 3 women and a stick of butter to get me into this dress.
Is that what the buttery smell is?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
Is that why you thought I was eating croissants?
That's right.
Let me just say that you look great, and we love having you here.
Thank you very much.
And I have to gush because...
Yes? No, please.
I have to gush because it really aggravates Regis.
Oh, is that right?
You're never more ebullient than when Cooper's here, your favorite.
Yeah.
You just can't stand me, can you?
So how was the rest of your summer?
It was great.
It's over. Summer's like officially over, isn't it?
I don't believe that summer's over. I refuse to believe that summer is over. I always look forward to those warm, unexpected October nights. You know, they happen.
Right. I like this time of year though in New York. It's crisp. You know, the air starts to be crisp.
Yeah, good hair days here because
it doesn't smell quite as much. You know.
Well, I live downtown, so that smell is just omnipresent.
Always there.
Yeah.
Always there. But I ride my bike around the city, and it's much nicer riding the bike. You know, when the air is a little crisper.
And when you ride your bike, what do you wear?
What do I? What do you mean? I wear what I would normally. I mean, I'm not like riding.
You wear a suit?
No, I don't wear a suit. I wear jeans and sneakers, and I don't wear a helmet, which is a problem.
Oh.
I know. And literally at every few red lights when I'm sitting there, because I obey the traffic lights, unlike every other biker in the city, a person will walk by and be like, really should wear a helmet. I'm like, yes, thank you, I know. And everybody tells me this, and I know this, but they look so stupid. You know what I mean? Like biking helmets, somebody's got to make a bike helmet that doesn't make you look completely goofy. It's like they're all long, it's like a giant sperm on your head, and, you know, it's like... I mean, not that anyway.
Stop, you're making me hot.
Right.
You know, I have to say that I have a biking helmet that is not long and sperm-like. It is round and egg-like, but it almost looks like Captain America. It has stars and stripes, and it's red, white, and blue.
Okay, that would not work for me. I don't think.
And my son Joaquin wears an army green
that's cool. Okay.
A helmet, and it's really cute, but he doesn't like the feeling of the chin strap on his chin, so he puts it in his mouth.
Well, that's not going to do any good.
I know, but we ride around my driveway. I mean, it's not like he's going to get hit by a car unless it's my husband.
Yeah. Well, I told you, I mean, if you do ride a bike in the city, it is inevitable you're going to get hit on one way or another. You know, either someone opens up a cab door in front of you, and it's always awkward because, someone will open up a cab door and I'll come screeching to a halt, and then I'll look at them and they'll look at me and be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like I almost killed Anderson Cooper.
Oh my God. Yeah. Then they'd have to deal with me.
Right, yeah. And I think I told this story before, but I had a cab driver once who made a turn into me and like literally hit me, and I had to stop, and he turned and he looked, and he was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I think he saw like lawsuits and all sorts of stuff.
It's so funny. I was leaving Joaquin's soccer practice the other day. I left a little early because Mark coaches his little soccer, and so I went to watch for a while, and then I came home and I put my headphones on. And sometimes when I walk in the city and I have my headphones on, I can't hear anything, and people will say, aren't you from Live? Or, usually people point to me and say Regis. I don't know why. Regis. And so I always go, I'm sorry, what did you say? And yes, I am. Oh, thank you very much, right? I put the headphones back in. So I was crossing this pathway and I see a bike coming, and I sort of jump back, and the man says something to me, and I said, I'm sorry, what did you say? And he said, I said you're an expletive idiot.
Oh, no. Really?
But I was so prepared for the compliment. I was like, I'm sorry, what was that?
it must have cut all the deeper because of that.
It really,
Yeah.
I was like so pumped up. I was like, he's about to say something incredible to me.
Right.
He's about to tell me how much younger I look in person. What was that, sir?
Well, it's also always funny when you see someone coming up to you and you kind of expect, all right, they're going to say like, oh, I recognize you from TV, or I hate you, or, you know, some sort of, they recognize you. And you sort of get yourself prepared, and then when it's something completely different, like, oh, will you take a picture of me and my girlfriend?
Yeah.
Like, you're like, oh, yeah, sure, totally. You know, no, I wasn't thinking it was about me, you know. And then you feel like an idiot and a jerk for, like, assuming that, you know.
I swear, that happens to me all the time. And Gelman can attest to it, because I one day was in... we're the Bahamas. We were in the Bahamas together, and we were doing the show there. And Regis, Gelman, and I were all together in the lobby getting ready to go do a shoot. And this woman comes up and says, oh my gosh, Gelman, Regis, I love you so much. And thrusts the camera at me and says, can you take my picture with Regis and Gelman? And I say, sure, yes. And I take the picture and I hand it to her, and it's very nice. She goes, where's Kelly? You probably didn't recognize me without my padded bra. That's right. Somehow it feels okay to look because it's all padding. So feast your eyes.
So I know you're not a big flyer.
I'm not a big flyer. No, I'm not.
And you know, I mean, I fly a lot for work, obviously, and I've become a little obsessed with how far the seats go back, and now there's a website, you know, you can go to that tells you on what airlines how far the seats will go back.
Well, first of all, they don't go back. They lean you forward so that when you sit up, you think you're going back.
Right. That's right. There's nothing worse after the whole flight that you've been, you know, quote unquote leaned back, you know, the 10 degrees, that then you have to put your seat back upright, and then it really feels like you've been completely pushed forward.
Then you're doing an ab workout. You're in an ab flex commercial.
But so with great horror, I saw USA Today. There's a new airline seat. It's not going to be in any airlines yet, but it's being pitched to like airline companies. It's not even a seat. Look, this is what it is. It's equivalent to riding horseback. You're basically perched. Sort of, it's like a half standing seat, and that way they can cram more of them into a plane. It would be for shorter flights. Yeah. Can you imagine anything worse than this?
I don't know. That looks like that could be fun.
The only thing worse than this is like Steven Slater's your flight attendant while you're in this thing. You know what I mean? Oh, I say that with great love and affection. I mean, I'm sure he's a wonderful guy. You know.
Well, listen, I'm sure he has to tolerate a lot.
Oh my God! Being a flight attendant, you have got to. Can you imagine?
I mean.
The endless horror of. I had a guy. I was on a plane recently, and there was a guy who. He was yelling at his wife, you know, and it was one of those things where they're walking 10 paces ahead of each other because they hate each other so much at this point in their lives.
Right.
And the wife had like all the luggage and stuff, and the guy was, he just seemed like a very annoying person. Anyway, he ends up, of course, sitting right across from me on the plane, so I have to listen to the entire plane ride to their complete conversation. But the lowest moment for me personally was when he took out a nail clipper and started clipping his big dirty nails. And I swear, and I just sat there like, really? Really? This is the time? And like every now a nail would fly, you know, and I'd like cover my club soda, you know? Right, exactly. And that sound, there's a distinctive nail clipping sound that is so loud, it pierces, it's like at a decibel level that pierces everything else. And you can hear it, even if you're far back in the plane, it's like, click, boom. And I mean, I kept looking around to see if anyone else is as horrified as I am that this man is spreading his dirty.
Do you have
I half expected him to take off his shoes and do his toenails. Really? I mean, why wouldn't he?
Some people, like, flight attendants are very good. They have poker faces. Like, you know, when you hit something and you're like, and you look to the flight attendant and the flight attendant is like, stone-faced, right? Okay, I don't have that.
Right.
So if he was clipping his toenails, I would have been aggressively passive-aggressive, and I would have done Like I do lots of.
They think you're choking. That doesn't.
What's that, Lola? No, you can't clip your toenails in public. What did you say? Why? Because it's unhygienic. That's why. But I was on a flight with.
You're
Lola.
not a good. You don't like to fly, right?
It's to me. It is, and I know people will send me notes saying, you're wrong, Kelly, you're wrong. But I don't care. I say you're wrong. I feel it's a germ capsule.
Oh,
and
well, it is. It's a giant petri dish with wings.
Right,
There's no doubt about that. I have no doubt about that.
Let me tell you, one day...
But that's why you don't... it's not fear of crashing, it's fear of germs?
Fear of crashing, fear of germs, but I feel like the germs will probably kill me before the crash will. So I feel like, it's like that's,
right,
that's
the worst
where I am.
is the sense that the air is just recycled, so the person who just coughed is now recycled and goes into your mouth. You ever sense that?
Well, to me, it's the reality that I can't possibly hold my breath for 6 hours. As much as I try. I'm like, I take very...
I once sat next to a person who, as soon as they sat down next to me, opened up their briefcase, took out a giant mask. And it wasn't just like a sort of little thing you buy. It was some huge construction thing with things, put it on. And it was like wearing a scuba suit next to me. And, I thought maybe it was just me that I smelled or something. But, they had a germ thing.
Did he have a note?
No.
Did he need a note from the doctor?
No, but I looked and he was like, yeah.
That's
and he wouldn't take it off to talk. He was just like,
this flight's not going to make me sick. Right. He was all highfalutin. Right. Well, one day, my daughter and I were flying home from Florida. We were really tired, really hungry. It was one of those snowy flights were canceled. Right. And we basically, I did the only thing I knew how to do, which was I cried and begged until this woman gave up her seat because I was like, I have to be on the air tomorrow, and I need.
Oh, wow.
And this woman was like, you can take, because they were offering free tickets if people gave up their seats to people who absolutely had to get back. So she did, and I was like, thank you. So it's Lola and me, and then this man on the aisle. And they served a sandwich, which I couldn't believe. I was like, this is the most glorious flight ever. I can't believe a sandwich. It's like a miracle from heaven. And so I'm starving to death, and I unwrap the sandwich, and with great fanfare and pageantry, I take the mayo and I squirt it onto the turkey, and I'm with the knife, and I just can't,
You're enjoying the process.
I'm enjoying the process because I know this is going to just taste so good. And right as I put the last bit of mayo on the sandwich, the man next to me goes, and I'm not kidding. I started crying again. I wrapped up my sandwich and I put on my headphones and fell asleep. And it was like I was so excited to eat that sandwich.
Well, I just saw this article also that apparently a buxom Playboy centerfold tried to bust out midair from a jet yesterday amid a bad case of high anxiety. A 21-year-old model named Tiffany Livingston was on a JetBlue flight. What is it with JetBlue? From Orlando, Florida to Newark. She bolted from her seat, tried to open the door of the plane. She said she's gone through this before, but according to law enforcement, but never had it this bad and didn't have her medication. Wow, okay.
What kind of medication fixes that?
I don't know. Yeah.
It's called a glass of wine.
The other thing I was fascinated about, I read I got this thing from Esquire magazine recently that So I didn't, I hate to shop. I find it a painful process.
I know. You just recently got a bed after 100 years.
Right, no, but shopping for clothes I find especially bad because I don't like the whole trying on.
But you always look so nice and perfect.
Well, thank you. But, now I've lost my train of thought.
Sorry, you hate to shop. You hate to shop for clothes.
You had such a strange, bizarre, stalker-like look in your eyes.
You should be used to it by now, sweetie.
But anyway, so I just find it painful. I'm still convinced, that when I go into a store, people think I'm shoplifting for some reason. Do you ever have this?
No.
I had this all the time when I was a kid, that people would think I was trying to steal something, so I would have to demonstrate, I'm taking the pants now look, I have one pair of pants and I'm taking them into the stall for some reason. I don't know why. I was just paranoid about this. And I'm still sort of a little paranoid about that, though I've never shoplifted. But anyway, apparently, now to add, part of my confusion is sizing. It seems annoying and you don't really know, and I can never remember what my size is. Now, apparently, all the sizes are bogus anyway.
Yes, I agree.
This is for, apparently, Esquire says for men's clothing, they did an experiment. And I don't know, there's a store like H&M, which is a sort of a discount fashion store, I guess, in New York. If you're buying a pants that you think are 36 inches, they're actually 37 inches.
Right.
And at Old Navy, it seems the worst. Their 36-inch pants was actually 41 inches.
Yeah, right.
And they're doing this so that people feel better.
Right.
Because now we're all growing so large, and we can't stop ourselves, that we don't want to admit that we're 41, so they're just now making up sizes.
Well, let me just tell you something. I have jeans from years ago. I never throw anything away. So I have jeans from years ago and jeans from now that are the exact same size, and one is a size 6 and one is a size 2. And how does that happen?
Right.
How does that happen? I didn't change. They're the same size. These jeans, they're like, let's make all the women think that they're tiny. I'm not kidding.
So now it's happening with guys too. Also, did you see a friend of mine, a friend of yours, Diane von Furstenberg, who's a great designer, has apparently now designed for the Cleveland Clinic a more stylish hospital gown. Because, I mean, hospital gowns, I don't know the last time you all were checked into a hospital or visiting someone, but why in the world they invented those things with huge gaping opens in the back? You can't help but feel, you're sort of clutching your back as you're like, as if being in a hospital isn't depressing enough.
The hospital shuffle.
So she's redesigned apparently hospital gowns that have slits on the side.
She is so
it makes sense.
Brilliant.
I don't know what, it's one of those things like...
It's the rap hospital gown.
Exactly, right.
One size fits most.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's great. Good for her.
Yeah, makes sense.
Using her good design skills to good use. One time, just quick fitting room story. I've told this before on the air, but I don't think I've ever told you. There's a time I got my first paycheck from all my children. I was so excited. I went clothes shopping with my mom, and I was like...
So that was the first thing you thought to do, not save the money, not put it away?
No, I was like, no, I had to spend it. I wanted to buy something, and I bought myself something really nice, this beautiful blouse. I was so excited about it. I put it on. I can't wait to pay for it. I come running out of my mother's there. I come running out to pay for it because it fits beautifully. It looks gorgeous. And I'm standing there, and the sales clerk takes the shirt, and I said, I love it so much. I'm going to take it. Thank you. So I wish if you had 2, I'd buy 2. And she's like, okay. And she starts ringing it up, and I see behind her there's like a topless woman, and I'm like, oh my God, there's a topless woman here in the store, and I'm like, Mom, look at the topless woman. The topless woman starts pointing to me, and I'm like, this topless woman is recognizing me, and then I realize I never put my other shirt back on.
Oh no! Are you serious?
And my mother, I said, why didn't you tell me that I'm topless? She goes, I didn't notice.
Wow, that is great.
Insanity?
That is great.
Like my mother didn't notice that I was topless.
How can you have like taken off your shirt and been like,
it was the perfect,
you were just so excited?
It was the shirt I wanted. I got it. I had the money for it. I'd never had money before. I was like, this is like so great to not like have to hit my parents up for money. I'm going to buy it. It's so great. And I just sprang out of the dressing room.
That is great.
Oh, it's
very funny.
Oh, it's hideous.
You got a big show today.
Huge show. Yeah. Kate Gosselin is here from Kate Plus 8.
Also, Olympic swimming champion Dara Torres is here, and she's going to be making a big special announcement.
And we will announce the next 5 winners in Live's Wild and Wacky Talent Contest, and it's time for Fall Flashback Travel Trivia. Whoa.